Alright, so I'm just gonna kill myself because I wasn't recording. But yo, I'm here to give feedback on your end. If you have any questions, give me a ping in your bed. Um, I was talking about these locks look good, but I was talking about this one. So this looks like a good lock to me because it looks like there's a deep ocean off to your right, and although this is just one 5 tree, 5 is enough to have all of your explode or hello, have all of your tools, have boat and door, and there could be more trees on the island behind you, you never know. But also, something someone brought up to me recently was that saplings are pretty common from trees, and you can grow a tree in the bastion unironically, and it'd be a good play. Um, um, Bottom left there looked good. Top right there looked good in that jungle. Top right, bottom left. You're missing just a lot of beaches. Top right here. Um, yeah, you're missing a lot of like good-looking beaches, and I know it's your first. It was your first like 10 minutes on dynamic, but it's definitely you should definitely be resetting better. Uh, or definitely be like slowing down a little to pay more attention to beaches and all that. Um, it's better to never miss a beach and have a slow resetting than it is to reset quick and miss beaches constantly. 23 emeralds, 115. Yippee. Um, you don't need this many leaves. You have like 40 easily. 50. You only need like 30. I only grabbed like 30 in RSG. There was kelp off to your right. That's a lingering kelp too, so that's very likely a ravine. Like right over here, off to your right. I'm actually pretty interested. Don't mind that. Let's do that. Uh, so you left out this way. Right here is a ravine, and it is real. Is it? Somewhat. You'd have to do two by one by one. So I guess this over here. I don't know. One by one portal. It's too deep too. So you just break this. See, it's too deep. It's pretty quick. You can sub 10 it pretty easily compared to like a 6xx 2 by one and you're spending. Yeah, it's probably faster to go to that portal. Or go to that ravine off to your right. Though I can see why you didn't. It doesn't look like a good ravine, but lingering help is really good. Um, Still sub one ravine. Um, so a big thing is you want to be mining gravel towards the ravine. Um, so instead of swimming to the side and then over, which loses you a couple seconds, um, you can just swim to the ravine and pick it up on the way. Um, Especially, yeah, especially here. You're swimming to the right for a second or two, swimming to the ravine for like a second or two. Um, you want to break kelp around the portal. You want to break kelp around the portal. before starting the portal, just because like you see you got cobbled here. If you broke the kelp, probably wouldn't have happened. Grab lava. Oof. Fuck. Okay, you unpaused at 300 on your CCC. 300 is less than 10 chunks, which actually, I mean, I like to, I think unpausing around 12 is usually good. Um, because I think your Bastion, like this early, less than like this 529 number here, it can, it can lose you some, what's it? What am I trying to say? It can get you zombie pigs in the Bastion if you're under 500-ish. Stable, single, triple. And you still forward at some point. This is fine management Bastion. I don't think there's really any other place you could go. One thing I like to do on the way to the Bastion is like route the fort in your head. Route where how you're getting to the fort, how if you saw any spawners, if you didn't, where the bad side of the fort is, and where oh yeah, it's divorced. Where you're leaving the Bastion, where you're yeah, just everything you any route decisions you can think of want to be done before you even leave the Bastion, and that's what I like to use the Bastion for. Um, Instead of spending your time thinking like, oh, what do I need to pre-craft? What do I need to what do I need to um, like have a looted chest? That just needs to be fun, like fucking engraved in your brain, so you don't even have to think when you're in the Bastion. Really, um, it should all just be muscle memory, pretty much, so you can spend your time thinking what like I was saying earlier, how am I leaving the Bastion? Where am I going once I leave the Bastion? Um, did I see any spawners? Is the fort SSV, Lava Lake, Basalt, Warped, Crimson? Um, is it dynamic? Is it like a good dynamic fort, like I said earlier, with like Warped Forest, SSV, or Lava Lake? Um, do I have home portal, or is home portal easily accessible from the fort? How does the train look around the fort? It sounds like a lot, but once you get past like thinking in the Bastion, once you get past like diverting all of your attention to um routing the Bastion, uh it's really not that much to think about, because once you have like all of the terrain in your head thinking, um once you know what the terrain looks like and you have it like a picture of it envisioned in your brain, it's just pretty easy to over the Bastion just to remember what it looks like. Um, so you take 2 hits of damage here, and I don't think that's like that was very easily avoidable if you just threw gold in the hole and were like tossing it when you broke the thing. Um, hard. I think you may need to hard top. Yeah, It's good. Um, yeah, make sure you're grabbing string out of chest too. Um, Good pearl hang. Put some gravel over the hole. It saves you a second, and you're out. Bam. Okay. Here. Let's see. Frame by frame. Okay, 21 string. You have no glowstone, so you don't have arrows either. So I think you should. Let's see if there were any arrows anywhere. Yeah. Okay. You want to make sure that you know every single possible end fight strat. Like, I'm talking, you need to know all of your side setups, even for RSG. People say that, oh, side setups aren't that useful for RSG. That's bullshit. That whoever's saying that is just fucking stupid. Because every side setup, even if you're going to Y, like, I mean, maybe not like 86 or something. I don't recommend going that low just because like 80-90% of the time the dragon's going to fly away. Um, Even like Y96 bed, that's still like a 56-57 second end fight compared to getting that with one cycle 1 in 13th of the time. Or it's even less than that because you can rip a 1 in 13 insta perch and it'd be slow. And you can rip an insta perch, but it depends on how long the dragon is circling the node, how long the dragon is circling the first node it targeted. Um, there's just so many factors that come into a fast one cycle end fight where I don't think it's worth to be going for it ever if you have the opportunity not to. Unless like I guess ground zero, I don't like that. Um, because the beds are kind of weird to time, especially with nerves, because if you time it like a tick too late or some shit, it can fly away. Or a tick too early, it can fly away. And that's when I think ripping and going for like a quote unquote insta perch is good. Because if you're consistently 7 or 8 betting the dragon with ground zero, it's gonna be like a 120, 125 end fight. Um, so this is a pretty small thing, but once again, it is a 557 stronghold. I'm going as in depth as fucking possible, okay? Here, you can just build up a block and go around instead of digging 2 blocks. Just build up a block with leaves. During that pearl hang, or unloading pearl, you could have thrown out some stuff in your inventory, like the leaves, the FNS, or the fire charges, either or, whatever's better, more accessible. Okay, this is something I don't know how like good it is, but I'm thinking if you like I've been thinking about this a bit recently, and if you offhand pearls, you can throw a pearl um to the spawner, or I guess you could also just pearl hang. You could pearl hang to the spawner and kill the blaze while the pearl is like landing or something. Obviously, if you're like offhanding the pearl, you would want to throw it after you. Uh, you would want to throw it after you. Uh, you would want to throw it after you already hit it. So, oh, I forgot about this shit. Yeah, it does do that. Okay. So there's this glitch. I don't know if you know about it. Where if you do something like it's not charged up correctly because some bullshit. Uh, I wonder if there's a way to do this correctly. I don't know. I'll have to look into it and I'll get back to you. But I just want to overlap as much as possible in the fort since that's a lot of where the overlap can happen. During blaze hits, especially, you want to be crafting your glowstone, nether brick, wool. Um, just during blaze hits, that's a big point for overlap. The portal builds. Your mechanics are really good, and this is an issue I had, or not an issue. It's not like something bad, but after I got sub 11, I realized that if I want to be playing seeds to the best of my ability and not just what is it? And not just like hoping that I will get a good seed and play it as fast, like or what I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I'm trying to say that like I started realizing that there's more to RSG than just mechanics after I got a sub 11, because of or because of watching like other people like play my seeds, you realize that even if it's like a really good seed like that's pretty linear, not much like routing variants you can do. Um, there's on like worse seeds, say if it's like hard to train math, like people with better game knowledge, better that just like beef salad or hacks or like Nugile, any of like the top ranked players or Danny Boy, those people, everything just looks so like just straight to them, you know? Like they just know every seed. It doesn't look like they make mistakes very often, and a big part to that is their game knowledge is impeccable. Like top level obviously, but it's just like a step above everyone else. And if you can start working your way towards that game knowledge, you will be able to consistently crank out like these like sub 7 sub 630 strongholds like Priffin does per se. Or for example, Priffin cranks seeds even though he resets like a fucking maniac. Um, and another big thing with resetting that I'll go more in depth, but you don't want to be thinking about resetting. Um, I guess I should save this for maybe later. Uh, um, yeah, I'll just focus on the run and then explain like how resetting is later. But you just want to make sure that you know everything. Like this is like holy yak, you know? But you want to be like where you are at now. Your mechanics are at the level where like drip is, you know? Like your mechanics look pretty similar to drip. It just doesn't and you're like no matter what time you get on the or like what time you're running for, your mechanics just don't fucking matter past this. Like past where you are right now. Your mechanics are good, they're clean, they're quick, they're pretty consistent. Especially in VCs, don't see mess up stuff a lot. But the only improvements you're going to be making to your gameplay is just overall game knowledge, like hotbar management, um, inventory management, making sure you know where literally fucking everything is in your inventory. Like, it looks like you have a good hotbar, like entering Nether or entering Fort. You have, I would like to see this be optimized a bit more, but I would like to talk to that in VC. but for the people that I know don't want to, for the people that watch these videos, because I know people watch these videos, especially something like this, sub 6 stronghold, that's like a top 20 stronghold enter ever. The main things you want to have in your hotbar, and I talked about this with Eric a bit, and the titanium bat, is you want to have everything you could ever need in your hotbar. So what I mean by that is you want to have your axe, pickaxe, shovel doesn't fucking matter very often. You want to have obsidian, you want to have pearls, you want to have blocks, and you want to have your portal light in your hotbar, just at all times leaving the bastion. This is because you're not spending small little amounts of time grabbing your obsidian, grabbing your light, grabbing your blocks, grabbing your food, in the fort or on the way to bastion. You'll have more time to be clearing out your inventory. You'll have more time to be crafting stuff during blaze hits. And usually what this is something like, I'll just open this image here. I'll explain everything and what its use is. Okay, so the TNT, this can be TNT beds. If you have TNT plus bed, it will look a little different, and I'll try to explain that in a second. But that's for exploding the spawner. Pickaxe is for if you need to mine anything ever that isn't an axe or a shovel, you know, that's pretty, like, straightforward. Nether brick is for zeros and exploding spawner. The reason you need nether bricks to explode spawner is because, just a little fucking, like, you know, I don't know, you'll understand. If you're exploding spawner, you don't want the spawner to explode. You want the stuff around the spawner to explode, and nether brick will protect the spawner. Soul sand is the best scaffolding block. Or it's pretty similar level to, let's say. But, the best scaffolding block is pretty similar to, coarse dirt, but the reason I like soul sand more is because once you're building out the spawner, you, especially in exposed spawners over lava lakes, once you hit the blaze into the soul sand, it will take less knockback. So the rod has a huge less chance of falling off. Obsidian, building your nether portals, FNS or fire charges. I like fire charges so I can throw out the FNS on the portal. Is for lighting the portal, like your blind and stronghold portal. Pearls, teleporting obviously, and gravel is a pretty good one. But some changes I can see making to this is using, instead of like having your, what is it, nether bricks in your inventory. Entering fort, you can maybe put like a blaze bed there, or offhand the blaze bed there. Because realistically in fort, you're not going to be taking that much damage. So after you spawn or TNT or whatever, you can, or blaze bed, if you have like blaze bed and blaze TNT, like one TNT, one blaze bed. I can show you the setup actually. Let me like stop yapping and show you. So I have blaze bed and TNT, which is a really fucking good like combo. You can place TNT here. here and light it. That. The spawner is pretty good now. And that's a really fucking good combo. And especially with like a hotbar like this, you won't have like, you'll have to go in your inventory most of the time to grab your bed, or you can offhand the bed and have like your boat. Well, the hotbar I like is you have oh, you have, where the fuck are the boats? Yeah, you have boat in your inventory hotspot where your stuff is, and you can have like uh, cod or salmon right under it, so you can just flick and that should be survival to show. You can just, if your thing's open, you can just flick down after you place CT and whatever. That's really good just because you have the benefits of having a preset hotbar and your bed offhanded, and you won't have to spend a lot of time looking in your inventory for food. I think that's all I needed to say about preset hotbars. But just for everybody watching, preset your fucking hotbars. These are so good. Okay, back to the run. So, yeah, just big thing. You want to refine your gameplay as much as possible at this level, because the only improvements you're going to make to your gameplay is small mechanical stuff like being able to do bastions like every single one without taking damage like ever, which is something like no one can do because piglins are pretty unpredictable. But you want to be taking as little damage as possible in bastions. In forts too, you just want to be have everything down, everything muscle memory, so you can focus on like in-depth stuff rather than just basic stuff. Like your inventory here, I won't lie, it is a fucking mess. Instead of building your portal, I don't know. Maybe instead of building your portal, you could have what is it? Cleared out your inventory a bit. Or instead of first portaling, you could have built your portal and then cleared out your inventory, then first portaling. Just so there's as much overlap as possible. Which you don't have. You have, what, one bed. So you can't really, like, take advantage of a clear inventory. But it's just nice to always have a cleared out inventory. Learn retimeless bowtie. I remember I was talking to you and I was like making fun of retimeless bowtie because it's kind of like I said it was kind of stupid. I'd rather take like the 0.8 time loss. I'd rather wouldn't, just because after how much I've noticed micro time saves can change your gameplay, almost a second time of free time save. It's just so good to have. Because this pearl hang, I really like this pearl hang. These, if you clear out your inventory before first portaling, these guys could have spawned while you were in the portal, which is a little bit more overlap. When was the last time you popped fire as? Here-ish. 3:42. So you have a minute or 2 minutes and 53 seconds of stuff. So you don't even need to think about doing splashing another fire res here. During this pearl, you should be clearing your inventory out, even if you didn't over there. Which, the more I think about it, the more fine I think it is not to clear your inventory before first portaling. Just because, I mean, you're throwing another pearl to the you're throwing the pearl to the stronghold guaranteed, and you'll have that time. I don't know. It's such a rough thing to say what's better or worse. Because if you clear out your inventory, then during the what is it, like the portal animation, those guys probably would have spawned. You wouldn't have had time to clear, or you wouldn't have had time to pearl hang. Or if you did it, maybe would have been a bit of a time loss. But then during that pearl, you could have cleared your inventory. So like, it just goes either way. I think it was a fine play. Now here is where you need to have your inventory set more. You see, you have two sets of lights. You don't have your obby. You have a boat. Boat in your hotbar and ghost blind isn't very useful. Yeah. Fuck, almost died. Yeah. I think that's all I have to say. Um, just big things is making sure your gameplay is completely refined. Like I said earlier, just make sure you have as much down as you can. Yeah. Oh, fuck, I forgot to talk about end fights. Okay. End fight strategies. Okay. And resetting too. Almost ended the video there. End fights are like I'm talking about one cycling, I'm talking about zero, and I'm talking about one shot. One shot is, most people think is pretty useless because most of the time you're getting 4 beds at least from the bastion. But this is one of the times you just don't. And 8 gold blocks, that's almost as much as you're trading housing. And housing you're trading 9 or 10, I think. And that's without backups. And you were trading 2 triples, which is 8 gold blocks here. You didn't get shit. You didn't get explosives. You have 1 explosive. So one shot, I'll link the tutorial, but it's really nice to know, just because of those rare times that other people would just like lose the run, you can complete the run, where other people would reset or have to go to library, which in this case would make your run go from sub 8 pace with 1 shot to, and potentially even world record pace if you rip like God Insta Purge, to like maybe sub 8 pace. Like debatably sub 8 pace, because if you have to mine, what is it, 27 string, I think. Yeah, 27. You have 21. You need 27. Yeah. You're going to spend all of that time entering or looking for library, which, unless you know your library spikes, which is another really good thing to know. Unless you know your library spikes, you have to mindlessly wander on the stronghold looking for a library, which isn't guaranteed. So you could be entering library at like 6:20, 6:30, and then you have to find the portal room. So that can be another 10, 15 seconds depending on how far it is from the library. Um, so that's just a lot of just pure raw time loss there. Compared, and you also have to rip a purge, so that's 3 or 2 extra things instead of just 1, just going straight to the portal room, which once again makes this go from like top 3 pace, second place pace, to maybe sub 8 if you're really lucky. Um, but yeah, resetting. Okay. I think that's what I wanted to talk about earlier. I think. Was it? Um, I forgot what I wanted to talk about earlier. Shit. You. Fuck. What was it? I think it was resetting. Was it? I don't know what I wanted to talk about though. Okay, I'll just I'll rewatch the video after I end, and I can talk to you about it in PC later. Um, yeah, but that's all I have to say.